win this time at the start of the game against one of the players from Wolves. They was trying to regroup. Regnum Kaya clashing with DRX on the inside of a compound. But you've got Ulf putting pressure on the north. You can't afford to go for a crash, as well as on the south coast entirely in the warehouses. DXavier. Wolves going back and forth here. Lamborn needs a pickup now. Purgeon has to put the pin back in to save his teammate. Will be able to start that one. And Nate moves forward, securing it. They are on the inside. They should be fairly safe, but will they be allowed to get this res? Because there's more threat from the Wolves around the corner. And that's going to be Levi's taken out in the midst of it all. DXavier having a tough time on this pro.
With Purgeon going down, Lamborn going down there is very, very tough for DXavier because they wanted a lot more speed on that one. And Levi's expected some backup on the side there. That wasn't meant to be a 1v1. That was meant to be a 2v1. Purgeon getting taken out by Top and a little bit of a long breath, right? A bit of relief in this match. That is a
Doran goes down.
Nade. And leaving the warehouse open as it's a bit easier to nade out. But I think that for Thunder Talks, this is a good spot to play in going forward. Now, OG has an option now because most teams are going to have to wrap around on the east and the west side, is whether they want to move a little bit close to the circle, play out in the open with some vehicles, or just stick to their guns.
Refus on the inside, not going to win that one. Arena able to find it in an immediate shutdown. Alpha Gaming not in a position to go for the backup there, and Ziol caught out in the open by R8 across the way. That's a couple 100 meters out there. A long shot coming on through. In the meantime, Gike, Regnum Kaya clashing on the inside here. You've got DRX on the north of this fight too. Those nades are coming on through, but it is Regnum Kaya to draw first blood. However, it's faded off. Flushes need to come through now, and Safji will be able to find it. Unfortunately, it is taken down in the process. Kevin on the outside, though, looking to try and hunt down more Regnum Kaya players here as he steps forwards to Loxy. Low HP on Zedwall. Not really step too far in, but with a shotgun to play against, you know it's probably not super likely that you are going to go down to the consistent spray. Regnum Kaya, however, go down to DRX on the approach, and that is going to be an overwhelming force from DRX on the north side. Not timid this time around.
I think the craziest thing is Kara gets a shot in there, by the way, from all the way down the southwest side, able to pick up Loxy as he jumps out the building. Regnum Kaya just melted under the pressure there, and DRX actually pick up a fairly decent spot for themselves, all in that short moment of time. I think they'll be very pleased with how that one turns out. In comes Ulf over towards Thunder Talk's position. Again, like I said, this is a large area, difficult to hold as 4 players, and they're trying to gauge where exactly the Thunder Talk players are currently. Luckily for Thunder Talk, they always have this angle on top side. APG doing a good job to protect them from any target that comes towards them, and some fantastic nades are being lobbed up their way to secure some more points.
Goodness me, Ulf, they try and move into the hills on the north side of this compound, but they're denied entry. Everybody with the third-party angles. Eren, though, has actually managed to make it for the south side, so a last player alive for Ulf.
Hello.
In the meantime, Doc now has more arena players to worry about. 3 players actually taking shots out his way. You can see the rest of them trying to move through. He's forced out wide and taken down as soon as he moves. Sakura clocks him. And now Top has to try and find something in response because Doc is not getting back up.
Yeah, it's a good third party coming through from E-Arena. They noticed there was fighting going down on this side, but it seems to be only one player. But R8 currently in an engagement between them and VP. One player left alive for R8 and nowhere near this engagement. It's Prestige looks to send some Molotovs in. It's a good position to throw them out, but VP immediately moving forward. Amori in the backlines in the shack, priming a nade of his own. It's a long toss on it. A big gamble, but doesn't hit on target.
Prestige down in the smoke has been spotted now. Voston keeps his head on the swivel, spots the player down in the dirt, and leaves Amori the last to stand for R8 across the road. And actually, OG are moving in on that north side, so that could be a big problem in their very near future. I think Alpha Gaming did just go down. E-Arena able to finish the job as the circle goes back towards the center of this one, leaving those cliff tops out of it.
Yeah, I mean, OG can continue to play on this north side, but again, it's this question of where do they go next? I mean, luckily, because they cut out so much of their position on that northern edge, they don't really have too many teams watching in of where they're going to be maneuvering next to. I do like the way Thunder Talks is currently playing this, though, is where they're not splitting up into a singular area on docks because they don't want to give an opportunity for a team like Ulf there to swing all the way around and crash into a singular part of the docks. Instead, they're spread across it. They take fire as teams come in and then rely on teams playing on the cliff to basically do the job for them once they lodge them on that hillside just the north of it. game's going to slow down a lot, but Kara actually has a very strong spot to work with. There are 4 players as well looking for another huge game for themselves. They also have been consistently taking pot shots at teams, so they've been very proactive from their position, even if...
Confirm the point. It's much more valuable to play with the protection of Thunder Talk around you and try and play for it later.
Oh my.
Pmgc steps up and he wins that? How on earth do you win that? Stepping up out of the water, draws the weapon, and immediately lands the shot to Xing. That has got to feel real bad on the south side there. And that's going to move King out to have to go for this res, to have to try and pick up their teammate. This is Aaron's time to shine. And he steps up and does exactly what he needs to. That is what he was waiting for. And Thunder Talk are having a nightmare here.
Oh, this is very bad indeed. Thunder Talk likely down to 2 players. We're seeing it's going to be a difficult pickup from their side. Completely lost
enough to play with that cover, that re-knock over towards Virtus Pro. They didn't need to get the flush there. They just needed to slow Virtus Pro down, force them into an unfavorable fight. Pmgc may have bit the dust, and he will indeed go down to the nade from AJ. Only the 1 player to go down from Thunder Talk at a...
Yeah, currently we're in the top 10, so 3 more teams would have to go down before we start hitting placement points. DRX holding on to their position quite nicely as GS attempted to assault their position. Hyunbin on the top stairs looking for Icon right now.
In the meantime, the roll-up for Virtus Pro is getting dismantled on that northwest side. Unfortunately, there is a knock sent back over towards them. GS finally going down there, but it is going to be OG holding quite well. The reses, though, are starting to come through. There's the first flush coming in, and there is, unfortunately, the re-knocks coming in from Virtus Pro. They stop, though. They move sideways, move laterally on the fight, and OG not going to be able to connect these nades if they haven't spotted it. Will they put them in the right place here as the nades bob forwards? Not quite on the target. Haven't seen the retreat here, but AJ, Thunder Talk, they're all sailing on in. Virtus Pro now have another team, and the vehicles swinging around wildly. What is going on? OG, move in, get these knocks, get these points here, because Thunder Talk are moving the slivers of HP.
Going down?
Virtus Pro go down, and 3 players from Thunder Talk still stand tall, but OG, they've taken a knock. What have Thunder Talk just done? What?
I mean, DRX were taking shots across the way at OG whilst that all was unfolding. I don't know how Thunder Talk gets away with it, but they absolutely do. AJ with the run down the vehicle, smearing VP across the fields. And now AKOP trying to get his HP bar back up again. A nade sent across towards the tree, slightly lagging behind the rest of the team. A nade sent along the edge of the blue here could be devastating. And it is close, but not close enough.
Not going to be able to find it there. Stepping out towards
away from Kara. Lewis does have a nade. Marceau sets himself up. It's a bit of a short lob, but it's on target. Soez gets knocked out with a nade to the forehead.
Hits him with the swift underarm there. Nice little knockdown. Nearly getting Hyunbin. The pan coming in clutch there to stop the DXavier shots. The shots from across the way. Taking him down on the rooftop. A really difficult res to go for. You have to drop down. It's bad news. DRX have been able to get a lot of elims so far this match. It seems like they heard me call them a little bit cowardly last time around. They're already up to 10 here, blank. And they want to add 4 more to the tally. See if they can break records themselves as they move on forwards. The flash comes through. The nade goes through to the back. Hyunbin goes 1-for-1 on the trade. The DRX have the flash sent their way. Drops down in the middle. Lewis holding the back lines, and there's only the 1 player for DRX faced off against 2 on the inside.
Thunder Talk just rock straight up over towards DXavier and handle them. This is so weird from Thunder Talk, considering it's a very different style of gameplay from them we're used to seeing. Good nade from Nate T himself over towards Xing, leaving Thunder Talk, I believe, just on the final player now as OG remains stalwart on that north side.
They can get the reses in the shack for Thunder Talk, though. There are still 2 of those available. The question is, does DXavier have a nade? So Kara on this hold. Poser is down. But they're getting that resed up very quickly. DRX slowed it all the way out here. You can see they're on 10 elims still, but with only 2 players, the wind's been knocked out of them just a little bit. QXZ wants to try and drop down there, and he will get the shot. Over at the Poser, the re-knock is strong. Gonna keep Kara from overwhelming them on the repeats here. He goes in for more. He wants to find another, but there's his teammate going down. Lewis steps out, put into a shotgun, a barrel straight into his face, and Lewis goes down as well. They will finally take him down, but they lose a player, and they have to get these reses fast, blank.
Over the top tries to thread it in towards the shack, but a good shot from AKOP will take down Sighting almost instantaneously as well. Now they got to figure out how they want to play this one out, because again, for OG, they are passing through open ground. I think for ThunderTalk, they desperately want to get rid of DXavier, but Nate, immediate reposition from his side. This is a good survival play for him. Again, DXavier has been on the receiving end of survival plays for quite some time now. We haven't seen a truly dominant game from DXavier just yet.
It's disappointing as well, given their prowess, given their record this year. They've had a really, really strong showing, but it's just not coming through yet in the gauntlet. We'll see what more they can do. Nades being thrown out by ThunderTalk still.
It's good,
right, they got anything left and they find an opening. You're kidding me. ThunderTalk just seem untouchable here. Nading Aru off the tree, doing a lot of damage. That's going to be unresable now. The rotate out wide. AKOB needs to stand tall. Will be able to do one and a second as well. The double knockdown, but across the way, there's still a third player for ThunderTalk going. It's all up the WizGod. It looked like OG might have had the game under control there, but Kara now with the numbers advantage.
I'm just so confused of what ThunderTalk's doing in this game. Sightings sending it out again over towards OG. It's like a completely different type of ThunderTalk this game. Nate maybe going for the 1v3. CEO is able to put him down, fires him from the company, and at least will be able to remain up and present. WizGod moves up, and in the meantime was able to take down ThunderTalk. Now, it's a 1v1 technically as the blue continues to push in.
I think they've got time to get these reses off blank. The blue zone's not going to move for a couple more seconds. They may just be able to get through. Marso will heal. Poser will be able to get up and step out for another sight line. Unlikely that Poser's going to be able to heal, though. Actually, they might still have time here. They do. Goodness me. This means a full 3 for WizGod to be able to have to deal with here, and he doesn't have any nades in hand. With a nade, this could go a different way, but I feel like WizGod might be able to find 1 or 2, but the 3, I'm not sure. Marso goes out, drops the smoke train towards him. They know exactly which rock he's on. As soon as they get in range, they don't have the nades either. Steps out, and that's a little sliver of HP taken away, and he doesn't have any meds to play with. This is nasty.
Big stun grenade. WizGod just has to hide it out for the time being. But it's looking close. Can WizGod close this down? It's looking slightly unlikely. Regardless, he has been through the war zone.